From the North Country's news station, 7 News Tonight starts now.
Tonight on 7 News, we take a look at the Ogdensburg 2024 budget. A $2 million deficit leaves the city with the choice: raise taxes or cut services. Plus $100,000 is on the line. Anglers from across the world are in Clayton as the Bassmaster Classic is back in the North Country. But first, former president and 18 others are charged with criminally conspiring to overturn Georgia's 2020 presidential election results. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Zach Grady. Garrett Domblewski is off. Former President Donald Trump and his 18 co-defendants have all now turned themselves in at the Fulton County Jail. The former president is facing charges of attempting to overturn the results of the 2020 election in Georgia. Natalie Brand has the latest from Washington.
All 18 of former President Donald Trump's co-defendants have now surrendered to authorities, each charged in a scheme to overturn Georgia's 2020 election results. Trump was booked Thursday evening, making history as the first former president to have his mugshot taken. He was released 20 minutes later.
What has taken place here is a travesty of justice.
All but one of the co-defendants were released after posting bond. Harrison Floyd, accused of intimidating election worker Ruby Freeman, remains behind bars.
You have the right to retain a lawyer of your choice.
The former director of the group Black Voices for Trump had a hearing late Friday, a first peek into the legal proceedings at the Fulton County Courthouse.
There are grounds for bond to be denied at this point.
Former Trump lawyers Sidney Powell and Kenneth Chesbrough are asking for a speedy trial. Trump's legal team wants to separate from Chesbrough's scheduled trial date starting October 23rd. District Attorney Fonnie Willis wants to try all the defendants on that date.
They want to present their evidence once and only once, and as you start bifurcating the trial, then you're having witnesses come back multiple times.
Trump's campaign, meanwhile, wasted no time turning his mugshot into merchandise. According to the latest polling, he remains the frontrunner in the GOP presidential race. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Preliminary budget numbers are out this evening for Ogdensburg. The city is projected to see close to a $2 million deficit. The deficit leaves the city without enough money coming in to cover its 2024 yearly expenses. A proposal is on the agenda for Monday's council meeting. The proposal includes a tax increase that follows the state's 2% tax cap. Interim City Manager Andrea Smith previously encouraged council to consider overriding the state tax cap. This allows the city the option to raise more revenue through property taxes. Last month, Smith said council had no appetite to override the state's tax cap. A close to $2 million budget gap has one council member, however, reconsidering his position.
Overriding the tax cap is essential for the next year's budget, and they don't look like they really have any interest in doing that. But we have a lot of money that we are not going to be bringing in because of that.
Scamperly tells 7 News he believes there are plans to make cuts to the police department in order to save money. The budget is on the docket for discussion at Monday night's City Council meeting. The Village of Potsdam is working on resolving a wastewater discharge issue that officials say stems from SUNY Potsdam. 7 News reporter Sean Brinda tells us tonight where it's happening, where it's coming from, and what steps are being taken to keep it from happening again.
Keeping things flowing in the pipes under these streets is a good thing, but a couple of times this week, sewer pipes clogged up, causing a couple thousand gallons of sewage to spill out. State records indicate some of the sewage may go into the nearby Racket River. The culprit? Grease.
Normally when they do occur, we report them to the appropriate agency through the state to let them know that it has occurred. We immediately then send DPW personnel up to clean up the spillage. Again, both spillages were linked to direct grease plugs in our sewer line.
Thursday was the most recent clog. Village DPW crews had to flush out the pipes on Barclay Street and Hillcrest Drive. What's noticeable to village officials is the problem is occurring in the same area of the village and has happened on and off for a year. According to Potsdam Village Administrator Gregory Thompson, he says that the buildup of grease is linked all the way back to SUNY Potsdam.
We also currently are in discussions with SUNY Potsdam in regards to installing what's called a grinder pump, which would help to grind all the grease and debris up prior to it entering our system as it departs from the SUNY Potsdam system, and would alleviate the issue of the blockages occurring in those areas.
SUNY Potsdam wants to find a solution too. In a statement, it says the college and its dining services are trying to reduce the output of solids or grease into sewer lines as much as possible, and it will continue working with the village. In the meantime, the village will look at using watertight manhole covers on both Barclay Street and Hillcrest Drive to mitigate having sewage spill onto the roadways. Sean Brenda, 7 News.
$500,000 awarded to Canton Potsdam Hospital will support its new family medicine rural residency program. The hospital is constructing a building in the Potsdam area with 16 rooms for practical learning. The program will consist of a 3-year residency that will prepare 4 residents per year with training and the experience needed to become primary care doctors. The $500,000 was secured through federal representatives. The project also received a $3 million grant in February from New York State. The facility scheduled to open in 2025. The goal of the program, to keep more doctors in the North Country. The Lowville Village Board hosted an emergency meeting after the resignation of one of its clerks. Danielle St. Louis resigned on Wednesday unexpectedly. According to Village Attorney Jim Burrows, the position performs essential day-to-day functions. At the emergency meeting, trustees appointed retired clerk and treasurer Pamela Rose to the position. Burrows said St. Louis did not give a reason for her resignation. He said as far as he knew, the resignation was unrelated to Police Chief Randy Rogi's retirement and Sergeant Philip Turk's problems. Both have been charged in connection with timesheets that Turk allegedly falsified and Rogi allegedly knowingly approved. We'll head over to the Weather Center now. And John, lovely weekend here, we hope, in store for us. What can you tell us about what we're headed into?
Well, it looks like it's going to be more of a 50-50 weekend, Grady, as far as the weather-wise. I think Sunday looking very nice. Saturday, a couple of showers will be passing on by. All right, let's check those maps. First weather, of course, brought to you by Doors Plus in Adams Center. And there you see a little bit of green showing up, mainly north of the city of Watertown. Bulk of the precipitation off to the west over Lake Huron up towards North Bay, across the border in Canada. That's a cold front. It'll move on through. It looks like around noontime tomorrow. So some scattered showers, possibly even a thunderstorm after midnight. Same can be said late tomorrow morning and early tomorrow afternoon. I think this front will clear out the skies, though, so we'll see a little bit of sun tomorrow late in the day. We'll talk more about that and a whole lot more in a bit. We'll send it back to you.
Thanks, John. 7 News reporter Chad Charette was on the St. Lawrence River Friday. Some of the nation's best anglers went head-to-head and fish-to-fish for a chance at $100,000. The Bassmaster Classic made its way back to Clayton.
Since February, anglers have made their way from Florida to Texas as part of the annual Bassmaster Elite competition. Now they've reached the last leg of their journey, Clayton.
They're fishing lakes, they're fishing rivers, they're fishing through rain, storms, all types of temperatures. In order for them to call themselves the best, they really need to fish a variety of different conditions.
Hosted in the Antique Boat Museum, the event has an assortment of activities on offer for spectators. Folks are able to try their luck on a crane machine and even take rides on a demo bass boat.
There's plenty for the families to do, the anglers to do. Summer's kind of wrapping up, so a lot of our fishermen are traveling with their families. A lot of sponsors are here.
The sights aren't the only thing that sets Clayton apart. Fish in the St. Lawrence, especially its smallmouth bass, are renowned for their size. That makes a good show for spectators.
There's nothing beats a smallmouth bass. The fight, the power, and here on the St. Lawrence you have a chance of catching a lifetime fish. There's some big fish in this river system.
Bassmaster representatives tell us, at this point, the competition is neck and neck. With such massive fish, anglers have to make their last days count if they want to take home the $100,000 grand prize.
Whereas most events, a 20-pound limit, which is 5 fish weighing 20 pounds or more, that's doing well. That's really setting yourself up for success. Here, 20 pounds barely has you in the top 50.
The tournament will run through Sunday. Doors open tomorrow at noon. Chad Charette, 7 News.
Playing pickleball to raise money for fighting cancer, the North Country Pickleball is hosting its second annual Pickle Tink tournament. More than 70 players got into the tournament. Things kicked off Friday afternoon at 1 p.m. with paddles being swung until 10 o'clock. The event supports the Governor Breast Cancer and Ovarian Cancer Fund.
When we started these courts, one of the most important things to us was for there to be joy and the creation of community. And I can't think of a better way to celebrate community than helping our neighbors.
The event looks to raise $5,000 this year. Sackett's Harbor residents will have a new place for their pups to play. The village is opening up a dog park in the area for all dogs to enjoy as well as their owners. The park is located at the end of Hill Street. The village board voted to use some of its American Rescue Plan Act funding towards the new park. It includes 2 fenced-in areas, one for shy or smaller dogs, the second for larger breeds. It will also have benches and a water station.
We'll probably raise some money from community members to add features and stuff over time, but we've got the funds to get it started and actually get the park open.
The park will cost around $18,000 to $20,000 for completion. Morges says he hopes to have it done by the spring of next year. Still to come on 7 News, the fall high school sports season is getting ready to roll. Mel Busler is in the building with a preview from General Brown. Plus 2 stages, 10 bands, and lots of booze and brews. Brew New York returns to Sackett's Harbor Saturday. We get you ready for the weekend when 7 News continues.
From the North Country's news station, you're watching 7 News Tonight with Garrett Domblewski. Tonight's weather with John Kubis. And your North Country sports with Mel Busler.
You're winning midday numbers for Friday, the daily 738 and the win for 5287. Booze, beer, and bands. Brew York is on tap for Sackett's Harbor Saturday. Tonight we find out with 7 News reporter Lexi Bruning the bigger purpose behind the brews.
Preps are being made on the eve of Brew York.
Good to go, man. I appreciate it.
Where a field in Sackett's Harbor will turn into a one-day music festival for all ages.
10 bands, full music fest. We're bringing on 2 stages this year, which is huge.
Brew York is a place to have fun. It's also a place to give back. Proceeds from merchandise sold at the event will go to a North Country family with a child battling cancer, part of Brew York's Rock Out Childhood Cancer Foundation. Last year, the event raised $3,000. This year's sponsor, 7-year-old Harrison Horning from Adams. He was recently diagnosed with a brain tumor. His family says they're grateful for the outpouring of support from the community.
If they don't have to worry about their mortgage for a month, their light bills for a month, you know, I mean, there's a strain on the family, and we'd like to help out.
It's an initiative close to Price's heart.
March of 2022. I was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer that metastasized to my liver.
2 months cancer-free, Price says helping childhood cancer patients inspired him throughout his own journey.
And talking with them, and it kind of inspired me to take a child's approach to it, and being naive to it, and when you feel good, you do what you can. When you feel bad, you rest. I mean, just like a kid would do, and that's why you see so many kids beating this so gracefully.
Other proceeds will also help North Country first responders and personnel.
2 stages, 10 acts, and a day filled with music. The gates open Saturday morning at 11:45. The first band begins at noon. Lexi Bruning, 7 News.
And finally tonight, the last of the summer block parties in the city of Watertown wrapped up just a few moments ago. Hundreds made their way to Public Square for the 3rd of the summer staples. People got to enjoy food, vendors, and music of the headliners, Annie and the Water. John Kubis back in the Weather Center after your break with your full forecast.
Now, tonight's weather.
Still mild outside, still cloudy and a touch humid as well. 69 degrees, cloudy skies, winds from the south at about 5. Dew points in the upper 60s, leading to that high humidity of 93%. A pressure 2983. It's going to be dropping as a cold front moves on through during the day tomorrow. All right, 75 the high, 66 the low. As far as the averages, we're fairly close to the average high and actually well above the average low. Records 90 set back in 1975 was a chilly one in 89. We got down to 36. 66 for you, Messina, 62 at Old Forge, 68 at Fort Drum, 66 also in Barnes Corners. Touch warmer in Kingston. Our friends across the border at 70. A couple of showers showing up over towards Ogdensburg, in that vicinity anyways. That's really the only action in town right now. As we widen the view, notice that spin in the atmosphere north of Lake Huron, west of North Bay. That low pressure and a cold front will work on through. Timing isn't the greatest as far as heavy rain, but I still think we'll see a couple of showers, maybe even a thunderstorm after midnight tonight, and then again with the actual passage of the front around noontime tomorrow. Futurecast really does show the story quite well. Notice overnight tonight, maybe a hit or miss shower. Tomorrow morning around 7:30 or so, clouds, some patchy fog, temperatures in the kind of muggy 60s. Notice during the day, some heavier downpours potentially for a brief time, and I think by tomorrow afternoon, courtesy of a northerly wind, things will dry on out, and that'll set us up for a beautiful second half to the weekend. Risk of showers overnight, your lows in the mid-60s tomorrow. Decent shot for showers, but only for a brief period of time anyways. Highs anywhere from 70 to 73. Lewis County overnight, a shower or two. Lows right around 60 to 63. And tomorrow, I think we'll see some showers pass on by with that front. Otherwise, some sun late in the day, highs near 70. In St. Lawrence County overnight, some showers, potentially some clouds, maybe some patchy fog. Your lows near 60 tomorrow. The risk of a shower as the front passes on by. Otherwise, I think you'll eke out at least a little bit of sunshine by the afternoon. Highs near 70. Sunday looking mainly sunny. Highs in the lower 70s. Look at the overnight lows in the comfortable mid-50s. Monday mainly sunny and 75. Some showers on Tuesday and Wednesday, and kind of a cool down next week. Highs on Thursday only in the upper 60s with mainly sunny skies. That's all I have for now. Coming up next, Mel has sports. Stay tuned.
Now your North Country sports.
Time for your Toyota Sports Report. The General Brown girls soccer team looking to turn things around this coming season. Rob Crone made the trip to Dexter to check in on the Lady Lions.
The Lady Lions finished last season with a 6-9-1 overall record, 2-4 in the Frontier League B division, losing to Skinny Atlas in the first round of the Section 3 Class B playoffs. Coach Matthew Milkowicz lost 7 players to graduation in 2022, leaving a big void as far as scoring goes heading into the 2023 campaign.
What we lost was a lot of our offensive threats. 2 of them graduated, so they were our big goal scorers. But what we do have is a good defense. We have, out of our 4 backfield, we have 3 returners and our goalie, so senior goalies.
Anchoring the defense will be senior goalie Gianna Wood, who recorded 203 saves as a sophomore and 255 in her junior year. Wood says despite the losses, she feels there are a number of underclassmen ready to step up and be key contributors this season.
So we have a lot of juniors and seniors on the varsity team. We lost a lot of good players last year. We're looking to fill those spots because they were crucial spots, but we have a lot of athletes and we all have a positive outlook on this season.
The players say that a number of things need to happen in order for the Lady Lions to have a successful 2023 season, with the biggest one being communication.
I think working together, communicating, being a team, not one person.
We're going to have to work together and team bond. Communication is a big key in that.
One advantage the Lady Lions have this season is numbers. And having a deep bench is something Milkowicz will rely on heavily this year.
It does give us a lot of depth on the bench, and with having depth, it gives the girls a chance to give a break, and hopefully get a lot of people playing.
The Lady Lions open their season on September 1st with a non-league contest against Oriskany. Rob Crone, 7 News Sports.
Well, it was a great night on area ranges of the Northern Tier Trap League. Here's trap scores, individual results, courtesy of Herringer's Contracting, the roof people who call you back. These guys are exquisite. 315-782-9129. All the scores compiled by the temptress of trap, the lovely Gina Worth. Checking team results from last night. Brownville defeated Lowville. Lyme over Gouverneur. Henderson nipped Carthage. Glen Gregg shaded Sackett's Harbor. Harrisville over Snow Fun. And Adams Center beat Beaver River. 12 shooters were perfect last night. Robert Fredericks, Tim McFall, Randy Ellers, Barry Turk, John Farney, also Dave Finley, Spencer Sheldon, Jake Gracie, and Brandon Ingram. Rounding out the 25 for 25 list, Kevin Kramer, Peyton Amato, and Greg Gleisner. 4 shooters have been perfect for 2 straight weeks. John Campney, also George Garreau, Todd Edict, Brian Monnet. 2 shooters have been perfect for 3 straight weeks. Joe Fredericks and Mike Vady II. 1 shooter has been perfect for a whole month. Josh Grimshaw. One company is hoping to transform the world of boxing using artificial intelligence. Sue Gosman has more.
The use of artificial intelligence to give sports fans a better viewing experience is nothing new. But one Danish tech startup is hoping to throw the first punch when it comes to using the tool to revolutionize combat sports.
Round 1. Box!
The company Jabber has developed an AI system called Deep Strike.
I think it's going to be absolutely transformative for the clubs.
Jabber says its AI system is capable of calculating 50 different areas in real time. The company says, given a video feed of a boxing match, its technology can analyze how many strikes a fighter throws, how many connect, and how much they hurt, but that's not all.
It's also going to do a lot of other cool things like generate automated highlights for you.
The company recently testing Deep Strike at a boxing club in London for the first time. The system successfully kept up with the action using different camera angles to generate highlights, as well as gather statistics and performance analysis. Some hope this is just the start of modernizing the industry.
I think it's high time we do that sort of thing. Boxing as an industry in general tends to be fairly staid, where everyone just does what they've done before.
There are concerns about whether the technology could replace referees, but the company says while that's a hot-button issue, Deep Strike has shown it can do the job.
For 10 out of the 12 fights, it picked the same winner as the judges.
Jabber says it's working on making beta a version of its AI system available to the public later this year. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
DJ LeMahieu homered twice for the first time in 2 years. Garrett Cole won on the road for the first time in 2 months. The sliding New York Yankees beat the American League wildcard leading Tampa Bay Rays 6-2. Last place New York in danger of ending its streak of 30 consecutive winning seasons, won for just the second time in 12 games. LeMahieu put the Yankees ahead with a 5th-inning homer off Zach Eflin and homered in the 8th against Trevor Kelly. Cole had been 0-2 in 6 road starts since beating the Los Angeles Dodgers on June 3rd. Tonight's Major League Scoreboard's brought to you by Shorty's Place, located on Coffeen Street in Watertown. Home-style dining 7 days a week featuring breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Daily specials, locally owned and operated. Say hi to Michael John for me, won't you, for great food. It's Shorty's Place. Interleague baseball action. Baltimore over Colorado 5-4. Angels beat the Mets 3-1. Dodgers over the Red Sox 7-4. In the American League, Tigers over the Astros 4-1. Yankees beat the Rays, as I mentioned, 6-2. Guardians over the Blue Jays 5-2. Athletics down the White Sox 12-4. In the 7th, Twins lead the Rangers 6-1. In the 1st, Royals Mariners scoreless. National League Baseball, Nationals over the Marlins 7-4. Pirates nip the Cubbies 2-1. Phillies over the Cardinals 7-2. In the 7th, Brewers lead the Padres 5-1. Reds over the Diamondbacks in the 2nd, 1-0. Braves, Giants scoreless in the 1st. Well, that's it for now. We're going to stop pay some bills. When we come back, Mr. Grady going to wrap things up.
Looks like some showers during the day tomorrow, but I think by the afternoon, things will clear on out. Some showers, maybe a thunderstorm from 7 to around noon or 1 or so, and then by 5, some sunshine.
For John and Mel, thank you for joining us tonight. We are back tomorrow for your weekend report.